The sound didn't register as danger at first. It came through the fog of sleep as something mechanical, distant, like construction starting too early. Then the second impact hit, louder, splintering something solid, and the noise snapped into place, my front door. By the time I was fully awake, there were voices, sharp, commanding, layered over each other. Police! Get on the ground. The room felt unfamiliar for a second, like I'd been dropped into someone else's life mid-scene. I sat up too fast, heart catching up to what my ears already knew. Another crash, wood giving way. I didn't run. There wasn't time to think in those terms. I stepped into the hallway just as they came through, uniforms, movement, urgency that didn't leave space for explanation. Hands where we can see them. I raised them immediately. Not out of fear exactly, but because everything about the moment made it clear that hesitation would be misread. Cold air moved through the house where the door used to be. And then, beyond the officers, past the threshold, where my home opened into the street, I saw them, my mother, my brother, standing just outside, not rushed, not confused, watching. My brother had his arms folded. My mother's expression was something softer, almost sympathetic, but it didn't reach her eyes. That's when the confusion shifted. This wasn't a mistake. Sir, get on the ground. I lowered myself carefully, palms flat against the floor. The position felt surreal. Familiar space, unfamiliar role. One of the officers moved closer, voice steady but firm. We've received a report that you are unlawfully occupying this residence. I didn't respond right away. Not because I didn't have an answer, but because the sentence itself needed a second to settle. Unlawfully occupying my house. I live here, I said finally, calm, even. Do you have documentation proving ownership? Another officer asked. Outside, my brother shifted slightly, like he was waiting for something predictable to happen. I could see it now, the structure of it. Not just the accusation, but the confidence behind it. This had been planned to feel definitive. Clean. Something inside me resisted reacting emotionally. It would have been easy to argue, to point, to raise my voice toward them, but none of that would matter here. What mattered was what could be shown. There's a document, I said, keeping my tone steady. In the study, top drawer, left side. The officer closest to me hesitated, then nodded to another. They moved carefully through the house, opening drawers, scanning surfaces with the kind of attention that wasn't personal. It was procedural. My mother said something from outside then. I didn't catch all of it, just fragments. We told you, unstable, refused to leave. It wasn't loud. It didn't need to be. The narrative had already been set. I stayed where I was, hands still visible, breathing slower than I felt, moments stretched. Then the officer returned, holding a folder. He opened it, flipped through the contents, eyes moving quickly at first, then slower. Another officer stepped closer, glancing over his shoulder. They didn't speak immediately, just looked. Can you confirm this is the original deed? One of them asked, turning slightly toward me. Yes, I said. The question wasn't aggressive. It was precise. He compared it to something on a device, likely whatever had been provided before they arrived. The forged version, I realized, that's when the shift happened, not dramatic, not loud, but clear. The posture changed first. Less urgency, less assumption. Sir, the officer said, addressing me differently now, we're going to help you up. I rose slowly, aware of how the atmosphere had altered without anyone announcing it. They stepped outside then, documents in hand. I stayed just inside the doorway, not moving closer but not retreating either. The conversation with my mother and brother wasn't confrontational. It was controlled. The questions asked in a tone that didn't accuse, but didn't accept easy answers either. I watched my brother's posture change, arms uncrossing, weight shifting. My mother tried to explain something, misunderstanding, paperwork confusion. But the words didn't hold the same certainty they had before. One of the officers spoke more firmly then. Not loud, but unmistakable. And just like that, the structure they'd built started to come apart. No one apologized to me directly. That wasn't how it worked. Instead, the officers returned, one of them handing the folder back. Everything appears to be in order, he said. We'll be documenting what happened here. I nodded. There was nothing to add. They left the door as it was, broken, open to the street. Temporary damage from something that had already moved on. My mother didn't try to come inside. She stood there for a moment longer, like she was deciding whether there was anything left to say that would still land. There wasn't. My brother avoided looking at me altogether. Then they both turned and walked away. I didn't follow. I didn't call after them. I just stood there, in the space that was still mine, but felt altered. The house hadn't changed. Not really same walls, same rooms, same quiet, but something about it had shifted. Not safety, not ownership. Just the understanding that what had happened here didn't end when they left. It stayed, in a way that wouldn't announce itself, but wouldn't disappear either. I closed the door as best as it would go, not to shut anything out, just to mark where the boundaries still existed.